What is going on? It is Andy here to hand deliver you some thin cut premium Boar's Head Deli Sniffs on a Wednesday. I know it's what you want. Sometimes what you want is not always what you get, but you get that delayed gratification. You get taking some series previews Monday, Tuesday. Now you're ready for some nice sniffs on a Wednesday. And we have two games here on the slate. We have a game one out west between the Stars and the Winnipeg Jets. And then we have this curious game two between the Florida Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs, which saw Toronto jump out to a 1-0 series lead. And what does that mean? According to the TikTok generation, that's it. The Maple Leafs has essentially won the Stanley Cup because they've won game one in a 7-game series against the Florida Panthers. You know, in round two, game one last year, the Boston Bruins were celebrating their trip to the conference finals because they beat Florida in game one. They smacked them in game one. And then they proceeded to lose the next 3 straight games, and that was essentially the end of them. So is that what's going to happen in this series? I don't know. There's a chance that the Toronto Maple Leafs could win this game too, and I would be quite ecstatic because there was no good value on the Florida Panthers before this series started, and there's still not a good value on the Florida Panthers to win this series. What are they, minus 105 now? But I did see a decent value on them to win the East. Down a mere 1-0 in the series, and then no one that scares Florida on the other side of the bracket. I'm going to be taking Florida to win the East before this game starts, letting you know that there's a chance Toronto can maybe weasel this game, go up 2-0 in the series. And then I'll be taking the Florida Panthers again at a fantastic price to win the East. Why? Because the Panthers, just like the Edmonton Oilers, they're one of these battle-tested teams. You lose 2 games on the road to start the series. To me, it means absolutely nothing. The Florida Panthers have ripped off 3 to 4 straight wins in multiple series in multiple years in a row. They did it against these very Leafs. They won 3, lost 1, and then won game 5. They've swept the Canes. They won 3 straight against the Oilers. They won 3 straight against the Rangers. This is a team that can rip off multiple straight wins. So I'm taking them to win the East at a plus 270. And if they lose this game too, I'm taking them again at whatever the price is. Because all they got to do is go home and beat the Leafs twice. Although I, like most people and the sportsbooks who have priced this pretty ridiculously, kind of are going to be leaning towards Florida to do what they always do, and that's respond well in a game after a loss. But remember, they lost 2 straight to the Rangers last year, so it can happen. But as far as losing 4, no, I will not be predicting that. So I'm looking to take Florida to win the East before this game starts. And then I'm going to come back to some individual bets for this game, because this show is called Andy's NHL Sniffs, after all, in its origin story. When this show was born, it was all about sniffs. Not the kind of thing, no, you didn't come here for picks, you came for random sniffs. Things you aren't hearing other places. That very first year, I was taking, both teams under 3.5, it's a game 7. Wait, what? Whoa, did they even offer that? Where are you doing that? BetMGM, you're coming here for sniffs, theories, and weird reasoning. So the other day, I proposed the idea that the Winnipeg Jets actually are going to be breathing easy in this series. And a certain goalie who really shat the bed in round 1 this year, last year, every other year. Now, honestly, the weights are up. There's no pressure. Dallas is a minus 170 favorite in this series. Nobody's picking them to advance. For them to win the West, the President's Trophy winner has the worst odds out of all 4 teams in the West. So this is a team that can kind of breathe easy through this series. Nobody's expecting them to win. And Connor Hellebuyck, I think, has all the reason, I don't even want to say to play great, but to play a whole hell of a lot better than he did last game. So the first thing I'm looking at in this game, one that excites me very much, is the over on saves for Connor Hellebuyck, which is ridiculously low. And I get if this was round 1, game 1, and it's the Winnipeg Jets, and they're stifling all these teams. But you're talking about a Winnipeg Jets team who just played a 7-game series. A grueling 7-game series. Because Dallas played a 7-game series. When you play the Avalanche, it's not a grueling 7-game series because they're not that overly physical of a team. But that Blues series was extremely physical. And then considering the injuries in the Game 7, you had guys like Pionk playing 40 minutes out there, and you had a lot of guys logging a ton of minutes in a double overtime Game 7. So you want to think about who's going to be fresher during this game. It's got to be the Dallas Stars. And if the Dallas Stars are going to have that type of juice, they're going to be able to get shots to the net. A whole decent bunch of them. So when you're looking at over 22.5 saves for Connor Hellebuyck, yeah, I really like that, considering you're going to get a theoretical fatigued Winnipeg Jets team who's probably going to absorb a decent amount of pressure, try to win a low-scoring game, and that means Connor Hellebuyck is going to face a decent amount of shots. And let's put ourselves in the Dallas Stars kind of perspective here. How did their goalie play in the last round? Should we just let him off the hook and not get pucks toward him? You have a Dallas Stars team who knows Hellebuyck was absurdly shaky in round 1 and is going to want to get shots towards him. I'm going to be all over that over. So much to the point, I'm going to take the 25-plus saves. And like I said, I think that Winnipeg, if they win this game, they're going to have to do it like the classic Winnipeg Jets won their home games. They have to keep their opponent under 2. And as you saw last night, whether you're talking about the Carolina-Washington, what did I tell you? I'll go cheek for cheek. They went cheek for cheek, 1-1 into overtime. But you saw lower scoring variety games because we're in the second round of the playoffs, and you are going to see that more and more. And I think this game is going to be no different. I think you're going to have the Winnipeg Jets do whatever they can to win a low scoring game. So my first parlay for you, give me the 25-plus saves for Connor Hellebuyck and neither team to score 5 goals in this game. And I use that because I wanted to save the classic under 6.5, the number that I'm always going to try to get when you have two teams like this, pretty much in every single game, in every single series other than Edmonton, because I'm scared. I'm going to be chasing under 6.5s. How can I get there? And I will take that path there. In this game, under 6.5, any fourth line players? Did they list any fourth line players for us? Yes, they did. Alex Iafallo, who's on the fourth line of the Jets. I don't think he has a single point since he's been demoted to that fourth line once, Ehlers came back into the lineup. So give me the under 6.5 and the under half of a point for Alex Iafallo. That's going to get you a plus 110. And then I'm going to do that classic FanDuel. Did it for Carolina last night. Worked out well. I'm going to do it for this Jets game tonight. No goal in the first 5 minutes. And the under 6.5. That's going to give you like a plus 103. I'm hoping for low scoring there. Look, if the Jets continue to concede the way they did in round 1, I'm going to be wrong. But that's why this is Andy's NHL Sniffs. Because you got to sniff one sniff ahead. You can't be reactive. You got to sniff proactive. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to foresee how the Jets are going to play this game 1. Everyone thinks after that 7-game series, maybe they'll take a beating. They're going to lose. Maybe they will lose. I'm just hoping it's of the lower scoring variety. I'm smelling 1-1 late, which is why. You ready? Remember I always used to go both teams to score 2+ in those meaningless regular season games? Both teams to score 2+. But this time, for the first time, we're going to click no. I'm taking a shot that one of these teams isn't going to be able to score more than 1 goal. So that is my assortment. Those are some true old school Andy NHL playoff sniffs. Now this first game between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Florida Panthers, it's a little more confusing. I will say in that game 1, Panthers looked like they kind of mailed in the first part of the game. Then they stormed back rather furiously. Now we have this whole goaltending situation where Woll's going to be the starter. They scored on him a decent bit, but is that just because he came in relief? Because he played pretty well throughout the course of this season. Bobrovsky had one of his classic awful games. Anyone who thought he should have won the Conn Smythe, you should just be launched off the planet. He should have never sniffed that Conn Smythe the same way you never had your car. Just like most goalies, he's a product of what's in front of him, and the Panthers didn't have a particularly good game 1. They typically always follow up a game like that with a tight-checking, low-scoring effort where they usually suppress the other team. So while I'm taking the Panthers to win the East here, I don't know, this game might be a little squirrely, but if you want to take the Panthers, you're one of these many people out there, they're going to take them.
I got this rat, this gnawing, eating rat.
A Brad Marchand who's getting a ton of ice time and now has points in, 3 straight or is it 4 points in the last 2 games. That third line, quote-unquote third line, who's actually getting the most ice time, they're on fire. They have a ton of points throughout these last couple of games. Marchand had 2 in the last game, so I'm going to take him for a point at like plus 140, and then him for a point and Lundell for an assist, which has hit in 2 straight games. I know I gave that one out on the Patreon last time. I'm going to give it out once again. Last game we had plus 600. I'll take the plus 550 they're giving us. I would include Luosterainen like I did last game. He has 5 points in his last 2 games, but he's only available on Bet Rivers, so you can take Luosterainen individually, but I'd rather take the point prop combos. So give me Brad Marchand for a point, and then a little same-game parlay, Anton Lundell for an assist, and Brad Marchand for a point. And then also we can put my theory to the test. We saw this Florida Panthers team severely limit the Tampa Bay Lightning in many games. Yeah, then there will be a game where they gave up a couple of goals. They usually follow up a loss with a really solid defensive effort. So give me that under 2.5 goals for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and let's see if that one comes through here in this game too. And that is what I have for you here on a Wednesday. Good luck to you. Sincerely, better luck to me. I mean, that's what I really want. It's what I've always wanted. Make sure you're subscribed here to my YouTube channel if you enjoy this video, you enjoyed the series preview, you enjoy everything that you see here on this channel, and that you will continue to get. Who knows? Anything's possible. I don't even want to tell you what I'm trying to do now. I don't even want to tell you the expense I'm trying to finagle at this current moment. I will keep you posted. This one, it's a way bigger expense than I ever could have imagined. We're going to see. Well, you know, you played the line combos this year. You end up plus 550 units. All of a sudden, you may be able to purchase a.
Hold on a second. I'm looking for my car keys.
So we will see if I follow through with that. But in the meantime, you guys, do those things that are free. The best things in life are free, and they bring sports betting karma. You like the video, you comment. Yeah, this is a random comment that I'm currently leaving because I couldn't think of anything else to say. That can be your comment, and that will be absolutely fine. Make sure you click the notification so you know when these videos come out, if you want to see them early. If not, that's fine. Just tune in at your earliest convenience. And then, obviously, if you want to be a sponsor of this show, I saw somebody comment the other day. They said, you know, I was always looking to get into a sports franchise. I think this is a great way to start. You want to involve yourself with a. I mean, I don't even think am I legally allowed to say that? Sure. Who's suing me? Me? You want to be involved with a sports franchise? Hop on, join the Patreon. It's patreon.com/AndyFrancis. But that's where I get out additional sniffs before the games for things that I learn last minute. That's where Josh puts his baseball picks in the morning. And that's where you can talk to the other sniffers, much like yourselves. And you could all talk about when that day will be that you finally get that car. I hope to see you over there. If not, I'll see you tomorrow for another round of daily NHL Sniffs. Take it easy.